Okay, so we're going to put a roof on our house now. This is just a really quick outline that I did. I'm going to go to the new construction guidelines. This is page 18 in your packet, and there's a couple things in here that pertains to the roof, and they are both of these bullet points right here. First one is that roof construction is going to consist of trusses on 16-inch centers with 7/16 OSB rated panels. And the next bullet point is that the roof pitch should be approximately 512, optimized to minimize waste with gable ends. If you want to make a hip roof, that's fine. I'll show you that. I'll show you the gable end roof also so that you can do that pretty well. So first thing, we're going to click on roof level here. So that way we have our roof going to go on to the top of our walls. And if you haven't already got roof level, it just says level 2. You can rename that pretty easy. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on roof. And the very first thing I want to set is my overhang. I want to set that to 1 foot. Yours, when you click on this, it'll come up to 0 feet, 0 inches. You want to click on that and have that come to 1 foot. The overhang is how far out the eaves go past the end of the walls. Now I'm going to put my cursor on here, and you can see I put my cursor just on the outside of this left side of this line, and you'll see the dashed line appear. That means that the overhang is going to go to that side. If you put your cursor to the right-hand side here, the overhang goes into the house, which isn't correct. So we're going to keep the overhang to the outside, not to the inside. Now we're going to select all the walls. And you can do that a couple different ways. You can go around and click on all of them if you want. You can also put your cursor over the top of the wall and then just press the tab key 1 time, which is what I just did right there. And that will also select all of the walls. So I'm going to do that again. So I had a left click. Now, it puts the pink line all the way around the outside of this thing. And you're going to notice that it has the slope right here, and it says 912. And what I want to do is I want to change the slope to be, according to the guidelines, of pitch of 512. So I can put my cursor on here, and I can click on that, and I can just change the 9 to a 5, and I can do that for every one of these lines. But instead, again, I'm going to put my cursor over the top of this. Let's see if this will allow me. No, it won't allow me to change it easily. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go here in the properties, and let's see if I can just hit 5 and hit apply. And I hope it changed all of them. So I'm going to green check mark this, and then we're going to take a look at this in 3D view. And well, it looks it's a little weird, I guess is the best way to put it, right in here in particular. So we'll go back to the home view. So we want to change that. And a good way to go about doing that is we're going to click on the roof and hit edit footprint. And I'll go back to roof level here and take a look at this. Now, what I can do, a couple things to get rid of that weirdness, I guess is the best way to put it, is I can right click on this and delete this line here, and right click and repeat delete. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these 2 corners back together. So I can click on the line and drag this out, and you'll see the little dash line that shows me that everything is hooking together. And then I'm going to green check mark this, and let's go take a 3D look at this again. And honestly, this looks not too bad. So this is a hip roof, and the gable end roof is the one that Project Lead the Way, or that Habitat for Humanity, I should say, wants us to have, rather than the gable end roof. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to convert that. If you want to leave it with this roof, that's probably okay. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But we just don't want it to be kind of weird looking like it was before. So instead, if I want to change this to a gable end roof, again, I'll pick on the roof and hit edit footprint, and I can look at this from the top, and I can rotate this or do whatever I want to. But you see these little lines right here? Those are slope lines. So if I click on this, I should be able to get rid of those somehow. Let's see. Oh, I know how to do that. I'm going to click on the line, and then up in here where we have the overhang of 1 foot and it says define slope, I'm just going to turn that off. So I'm going to click on this line, define slope, I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm going to green check mark, and let's see what we end up with roof-wise. Well, that's not too bad. Looks pretty good, except on the front and the back walls here. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to click the walls, and I'm going to say attach to top, and I'm going to click on this wall right here. And now if I go to the right hand side, we can see that that one is extended up, but the other one on the inside is not. So we'll take a look at this from the bottom, and I'll click on that wall, attach the top base, again the roof, and then we'll go back to the home view here. And now if I look at this from the right hand side, that's pretty good there. And I'll go back to home, and the front view, it looked a little weird to me. Yeah, so again, I'm going to click on this wall, attach the top base, like the underside of that, and that should be good now. Back to home, turn around, and then I gotta do this, I think, just one more time. So click on the wall, attach top to base, go up to the roof, and now if I look at it from the left, pretty good. Oh, that one's a little weird there too. Huh. See those little gaps that I got? So I'm going to click on the wall, attach the top base, roof. Let's look at it. Yep, that fixed that one. Now we'll do the same thing with this wall. Takes a little cleaning up. So you want to make sure you look at these from the ends so that you can make sure you've got all of these all closed up. So we've got all those things done. Now, what we need to do is we're going to need to change the roof. It's this slight gray color right now. It's just a generic roof. So I'm going to actually choose the roof, and I'm going to hit edit type and duplicate. And then I'm going to type in a name for this, and just like we've been doing with everything else, HFH space roof. I'll get rid of that number 2 there. Oops, too many. There we go. And then I'll say OK. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into edit the structure right here. And our structure is going to be pine 2x4s. So I'll hit that little ellipsis icon, and I'm going to choose the word softwood. That's what we've been using so far. And then I'm going to say OK. And then the thickness is this is 3.5 inches. Oops. 3.5. Can't forget to put the inches symbol in. 5 inches. There we go. And then I'm going to add another layer here. And this isn't going to be structure though. This is going to be a substrate. So I'll click on substrate. And then the material is going to be plywood. So PLY. They said OSB, but plywood is the same thing for us. And then the material thickness of the plywood is 0.5, 1/2 an inch. And, ooh, sorry, I put in, yeah, I'll put in the fraction, 1/2. Should work. I'm not editing a formula. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I gotta put in the inch symbol. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to insert one more, and this is going to be for shingles. So this isn't a substrate though. This is a finish. And this guy, we're going to use the ellipsis and hit shingle. Oops. Asphalt shingle. And I know that these are 1/4 of an inch in thickness. Now hit enter. Oh, I forget the inch symbol again. There we go. Okay. Enter. Now I got to move this one up and this one up. And I can say okay and okay. And when you take a look at this, you end up with a much thinner roof. Look at it from the end. Right here, it's much thinner. And also, you're going to see that the shingles now appear on our roof. By the way, if you want, you can go in and you can do paint on the fascia boards if you so desire. So anyways, that is making our roof.